The corporate takeover continues at the Maruti Suzuki Devil Circuit Corporate Challenge Season 4. It's the toughest corporate challenge on the planet, featuring a roller coaster of emotions in a theatre of dreams populated by a cast of modern-day gladiators.
And they're battling it out for a grand cash bounty of 6 lakh rupees, with the fastest finalists driving off in the all-new Maruti Suzuki Swift.
Fernanda, it's time to embrace anarchy and upset the established order.
Chaos is about to be unleashed. Here are the rules.
All 18 teams are divided into 6 groups, A, B, C, D, E and F. Each group consists of 3 teams. Each team will race the other 2 teams within that group. Each match consists of 3 races, where players from one team will race players from the opposing team. And the team with the higher circuit finishes within a match takes the win. In the case of no finishers, the team with 2 or 3 heat wins will be declared the match winner. And each win gives a team 10 points. After the first round of group matches, the teams will be reshuffled into new groups, and the total points accrued at the end of round 1 and round 2 will determine the team rankings, with the top 8 teams proceeding to the quarterfinals. And here are the obstacles they have to overcome. Starting with Test Your Mettle. Here, contestants need to provide the right answer to a very tricky question or face a time penalty before moving on to the Corporate Roller Coaster, featuring 2 curved bars with a challenging decline and incline before moving on to the next obstacle, Bell the Cat, where they must climb a rope to ring a bell before they head onto the Wall, a 6-foot barrier that contestants need to ascend and cross over, when they'll face then the Sea of Poles, a slippery stretch of vertical poles that contestants need to get past to get to the Super Swing, which is another rope obstacle, but this one requires holding on and swinging across to arrive at Monkey Business. After channeling all their private instincts with Monkey Business, they meet the Corporate Ladder, a wobbly version of the monkey bars with a tricky gap to overcome. And then it's the final obstacle, the Summit, where they run up a 14-foot curved wall to reach the buzzer. And remember, only the time of the first person to reach the buzzer counts.
An Iron Man and a veteran warrior led by an explosive young man wise beyond his years. The gladiators of Team Infosys are all geared up and ready for battle.
So now it's time for the talking to stop and our fearsome course to rock. Without any further ado, Team Infosys up against Team Intelenet.
And Sandeep Rahul goes up against Karun Vaz.
With Karen getting his question wrong at Test Your Mettle, Sandeep was able to build up an early lead. Karen trailed behind throughout and was all out of luck as Sandeep surged even further clear. Karen eventually had a nasty fall and Sandeep was one obstacle ahead when he fell at Monkey Business. Match 1 to Infosys. Hiran and Kamlesh produced a roller coaster of a race, swinging shoulder to shoulder.
Very nice, very smooth.
Oh.
And there we have it.
But Hiran's grip failed him at just the wrong time, and Kamlesh then managed to scale the summit. Infosys in dire straits. Unista simply had to finish if they hoped to win.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we have it, Kalpesh Sawant getting his mathematical question absolutely right and going ahead and giving tough competition to Yudhishthir Reddy from Infosys. He is playing for the first time negotiating this course. Kalpesh Sawant, on the other hand, doing pretty well at the moment.
Kalpesh, he got as far as that corporate ladder. I think he was looking like good for a finish and then just fell short on the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
But the reality is if Kalpesh can complete here, stalled on Yudhishthir Reddy, test your metal question right. If he can complete the course, they are
Not too
guaranteed
far
the win.
behind
Oh,
now.
he's done his knee. Oh, there's an injury. Oh, heartbreak. Disaster, potential disaster for Intelenet Global Services. Down on the deck, holding his ankle. It looks like it's completely gone. And Kalpesh Sawant, oh, that's a disaster. And of course it means, in theory, Sananda, there's no chance now of seeing Kamlesh Negi with 2 incredible times behind him in the quarterfinals. It looks like, not through any fault of his own, we are going to lose one of the fastest runners we've seen on the course so far this season, all because Kalpesh Sawant has suffered a heartbreaking injury. That's disastrous.
That is disastrous, absolutely. And Yudhishthir Reddy absolutely giving it no thought and going ahead and charging, bullishly taking over the course. But here we see Kalpesh still trying to, he's limping. I don't know if it's a good idea.
And of course, just to go into this, not being disrespectful to Yudhishthir Reddy, who's doing a good job here all of a sudden to get to monkey business, because Kamlesh Negi win the car. Remember, the fastest time on the course, but the time has to be recorded in the final, which if his team are down to 2 fit contestants, surely Kamlesh Negi has got no chance of reaching. You can still win the match if you have 1 finisher and the other team have 2 non-finishers.
Absolutely and completely aped the kind of positioning which was displayed by Negi there, and it kind of worked for him.
Well, he gets the transition a little bit wonky on the first axis on ladder number 1. How's the transition to ladder number 2? Much sharper, much cleaner. Now, can he avoid the sudden jolt when the ladder goes from left to right? Yes, he can. And now, so all he really has to do here, and that could be the end. The end.
And so yes, he's done it.
Yudhishthir Reddy puts a dagger in the heart of dear old Kamlesh Negi, who got 2 blistering times on the course already.
And Infosys' hope for a miracle have been answered in form of Yudhishthir Reddy.
Indeed, Sananda, it's ready to the rescue. And look at this, even though Infosys lost their other nail-biting match against GMR, they still remain in the top 6. And if you look at the stats there, they have got a good statistical advantage at the end of Prelim 1.